Step 3 is the reward for your phobia. Now, when I start talking to people about this and go, what's the benefit for being afraid? They look at me like I'm insane and go, well, there is no benefit. But if there was no benefit at the emotional level, at the subconscious level, you wouldn't be doing it. And so, as illogical or as strange as it sounds, every behavior we're doing is trying to serve a need, it's trying to meet a problem. And so maybe this need has long since been resolved. It's something from the past you were trying to solve, like a way to be protected or safe already. Obviously, it doesn't actually do that, but your subconscious mind thinks it is. Sometimes as well, secondary gain, the benefit for having the problem, you've had it so long it's become part of your identity. And even though it's just a set of behaviors you're running, a sequence, you think like it's part of who you are. So you're like, well, who am I without this? Often with a secondary gain, you're trying to solve a problem from the past that's long since been resolved, or your brain, as we talked about in the earlier steps, has generalized. It's found one way to meet a need in 1% of your life, and it's trying to use that in other areas. And I talk about in the book the example of working with a nightclub bouncer, that anger was rewarding him because it kept him safe on the door, but he was using it in other areas of life. That was the issue. So have a think about, if there was a need, what need would that be meeting? When is this behavior useful? So the example I often give for secondary gain is, imagine you're in a burning building and the world's greatest intervention therapist, hypnotherapist, comes to you and goes, hey, I can help you feel nice and relaxed while this building falls around you. Your mind is going, no, I need to get the hell out of here. It's a bit like that with our emotional mind. And so the key is to teach the subconscious that actually there is no danger. And by holding on to it, it's not actually protecting you. And so you gripping the seat doesn't keep the plane in the air. You know, you panicking about public speaking doesn't make you a better public speaker, it makes you a worse one. There are various techniques we have in this section to tap in and work on the secondary gain. One of them is what's called using idiomotor signals. Now, our body gives off unconscious signals all the time. A good interrogator knows someone's unconscious signals. A good poker player would see someone's unconscious signals. But there's ways to exaggerate these yes-no signals that we give all the time and tap in and find the secondary gain. This part can seem a bit weird, it can seem a bit odd, but I find with my clients, this can often have the biggest impact on people as well. Now, one common secondary gain people have is, certainly with anxiety, they think it keeps them ready or they're taking things seriously. And the analogy I use for that is, you've got to have an operation tomorrow and you've gone to the surgeon and he's there with his scalpel shaking, profusely sweating. And you go, what's up with you? And he goes, I want to do a really good job of this surgery tomorrow. How fast would you be out that room? And so this is what we're doing with our fears. So a lot of the need we think it's meeting, it often isn't. Now, we know this logically, of course, but it's tapping into that emotional mind, and the unconscious, subconscious does not work on logic, as I always say. So it's learning how to talk to that part, negotiate it with it, and find a better way to meet those needs.